Okay, apparently we are live here. So welcome to, what is this, like the 39th weekly live stream? I have to look. Episode 40. We have something to celebrate. 40 live streams. Just shy of 12 more to make it a complete year of live streaming. And I apologize. I believe last week I did not stream. I was out of town, so thank you for your patience, and nice to see you all here again. And I'm so sorry for being behind, those of you that are tuning in live. Got caught up in traffic, and then, the nature of it is I was ready at 11, just in front of the camera, but then I got to get all the guitars tuned up. And today, one of the guitars I'm showing you is this 1934 Santos Hernandez. That's Spruce top and Cypress back and sides with peg heads. And these are the original peg heads. As far as I know, they're the original peg heads. In fact, I'm almost certain because some of the things are missing and they're chipped up and they just look aged. They're these wooden peg heads. And they take so long to get into tune when it's been out of tune for a little while. In fact, I'd only tuned this guitar up once since getting it. So, of course, it's sent with the strings detuned. It takes a while for it to settle and then the strings stretch again. And getting it perfectly in tune takes so long. And I'm positive when I pick it up today, it's going to be out of tune again. But it'll be close. Once you get it, it's pretty good. But I want to remind those of you that are watching this after the fact or, years later, who knows how many years someone might watch this silly stream later. You can always use the timestamps that after the stream I add to see where I start presenting whatever specific guitar you're interested in. That way you don't have to hear me blabber for a while if you're not here for the chat. But I know some of you are, so please say hello wherever you're tuning in from. I see your Javier. Good to see you. Are you in Mexico currently? Don, hello. Hey, what's up, Don? Antonio, hey, good day. Good to see you, Antonio. Welcome. Cheers, y'all. I'm having a coffee here. Federico. Wow. Okay, great. Yeah. By the way, guys, if you want me to talk about specific things, please leave a comment. I'll get to it. Federico says, hi, Evan. I think it'd be fun if you did a video about your approach to systematically evaluating guitars. That's great. Good idea, Federico. My immediate gut, knee-jerk reaction to that is that it's such a difficult video to make because, I definitely wouldn't want to come off as like that I'm teaching someone how to evaluate guitars because people's priority lists are different. And that's one of the main things that I've learned from doing this is that maybe to you or maybe early on in all of this, you think that your priorities are the same in a guitar as others. And I don't mean your preference of sound. That's obviously a personal thing that we all can get behind, right? That people have different preferences. But your entire priority list about how you evaluate a guitar may be different. So one person, I could make a video where I talk about evaluating guitar and talking about evaluating sustain. Well, some people, and I've seen this in some people's mentions about how they evaluate a guitar, they might go to the sustain part and they might say, well, you know what, this guitar is not quite as good because it lacks in sustain compared to this other one. And while that might be a factor that's true, it doesn't necessarily place the guitar below another, right? What if the tone is out of this world, Some guitars, I really love some guitars that are very even across the fingerboard, right? That's another thing. That's a very attractive characteristic for a guitar to have. But some of the most exciting guitars, I'm thinking of some of the best Torreses and some old Spanish guitars, can be really, really uneven. Like G sharp is out of this world and then A is shorter and then B is quieter. Sometimes that variance brings really exciting inspiration to the guitar as well. And man, it's so case by case, but honestly, you guys are seeing me evaluate guitars on camera. What I would really like to do, this is me just ranting, but what I would really like to do is be able to show you guys a guitar that I refused because, maybe it has qualities that I think are just qualities in terms of sound, playability, anything that are terrible to me. But the problem is I don't really want to focus on the negative side of things, and I would rather just refuse a guitar and be polite and not like hurt someone's career or these types of things. So it's better that I just focus on presenting you guys the very best guitars, talk about why they are that way, and try to be as honest as possible along the way. But I'll give some thought to that, Federico. Okay, Vincenzo says, hello, hey, from Italy. All right, welcome. Hey, good afternoon to you. Paul, hello. Hey, good to see you, Paul. I was just talking about you yesterday, actually, the guitar you got. Robert Kelly, hey, what's up? Hey, can't wait to hear the Traphagen. Sweet, we will get to that second. That's great. I just tuned it up for the first time. Look at this thing. I'll give you guys a little preview of what we're looking at today. So, first, we'll be looking at this 2019 Stephan Connor guitar. Okay, this thing is beautiful. Oh gosh, you hear that? Cicadas. They are wild. It is crazy this time of year. I can't film till like 8 o'clock at night, and then they just stopped. Anyways, it has this beautiful bear claw spruce top, and this Brazilian rosewood is absolutely insane. It looks so beautiful. Man, Steve Connor picks the most incredible piece of wood. Look at the neck here with this flame. Oh, with the flaming in the neck. Now, I want to say this is mahogany. It's like a flame mahogany. Yeah, I believe so. Scheller tuners, sound port, and this one's named Quantum. And it's his lattice brace design, not double top. In fact, this is a very wide latticing. So like, is there any way to show you? Well, let me stick my light inside with all of the light on right now. I don't think you will see, but it's worth a try. And we've got this handy dandy sound port here. I just have to be very careful. Look at that. Okay, this is something you can really only do on guitars with this big of a sound port. Sorry, blinding you guys now, huh? You can see the latticing in there, but I can't get it. I don't want to make too much of a racket and move the strings apart. But you can see, yes, okay, that's the best angle. You can see how wide the latticing is there, right? A lot of times, you know, the latticing are these little honeycomb patterns, right? These like big squares in this situation. A lot of times they're much tighter together where they look, where there's much more braces, for instance. So this is a very interesting latticing that he's using here. And if you don't have one of these, go on Amazon and type in inspection light. This one's called Hot Lie. It's missing the T. You know, these are a dime a dozen. This one's really nice. Actually, I think I've only charged it once. Maybe it's because I use it for like 1 minute. And then the other thing that you got to get is a little inspection mirror like this. Now, these are $10 for 2 on Amazon. Has a little light on it, and then that way it telescopes and you can look inside a guitar and see what's going on. If you're a nerd and you don't have one of these, if you're a guitar nerd, you don't have one of those, it's embarrassing, guys. You got to get one. It's also embarrassing how long it took for me to get one. So don't worry if you're late to it. Just hop on Amazon and spend some cash. I'm joking because it's like $10 for 2 of them. Okay. So this is going to be the first guitar we look at today. An incredible Steve Connor guitar. With a sound port cover like he always makes, like he typically makes. The second guitar that we're going to be looking at here is a really unique Dake Traphagen 35th anniversary model. Now, if you can imagine, his 35th anniversary building guitars was in 2007. This guy's been doing it a long time and making great guitars for a very long time. This one has some special appointments. I mean, the rosette is a little bit extra special. I think the most distinctive thing compared to many of his rosettes that I've had, and he's built several guitars for my shop, is this inner little circle here. And maybe that's the distinctive thing about his 35th anniversary model. And then he also has that down here on the tie block, some ornamentation. And then this bridge is a little hint of what's to come. It is Brazilian rosewood. And look at the back and sides of this guitar. Gorgeous set of Brazilian rosewood. Today, 2 of the guitars are Brazilian rosewood. Really sweet. Now, I have to say, this guitar has been played a lot. There's lots of wear to this thing. So if you're someone that likes a pristine guitar, this isn't it. This has been played a lot, and it's quite obvious, and there's several repaired cracks, but they are all repaired, and they're not atrocious. One is just like along the seam here of the center that was fixed, and then there was one on the back, I thought. Maybe not. Oh, there was a repaired crack here on the side. Very small. Yeah, it's very small things, honestly. And aside from that, it's an outstanding guitar with a huge sound. I'm sorry if it's out of tune. Pretty good, but hold on, let me get it in tune so that when I go to the presentation, it'll be ready. By the way, this guitar, you'll be completely getting my first impressions on because I only tuned it up once. Made sure it played well, put it through its paces. Wow. The setup is killer. It's so easy to borrow chords. And it's a traditionally braced guitar, by the way. I already looked inside to make sure. Pretty sweet. So if you're looking for a Dake Traphagen guitar that really won't break the bank because of the wear to this guitar, little nail marks here and there and stuff, and repaired cracks, yet one that sounds amazing, has been played a lot, and is Brazilian rosewood, well, it's not going to get better than this opportunity here, because his newer ones go for a whole lot more because they are in, because they are brand new condition. Okay, and then the third guitar and final guitar I'll share with you today. And hello, gosh, we have 22 viewers right now at this early in the stream. I think that's a record. So thanks so much, y'all. Lisa coming in with the tip saying, don't forget to like. How nice is that? Thanks, Lisa. That's really sweet to say. And hi, Dennis from Canada. Good to see you. The last guitar I'll present today is by far the oldest. We were talking about that one being from 2007. That's a vintage instrument, okay? No, I'm joking. This is from 1934. This is by maybe the second most important Spanish maker of all time under Antonio Torres. This is made by Santos Hernandez, the year 1934. And immediately, what you're going to say is, well, that's a flamenco guitar, because this is a spruce top. Cypress back and sides, typically what you see on a flamenco guitar, and maybe most notably, peg heads. These are the things that immediately you see them. You say, oh, Cypress, flamenco. Oh, peg heads, definitely flamenco. You're like reassured. But I was just having a conversation with a luthier friend of mine, Steve Walter, actually, about these guitars. And, maybe some of you know this, maybe some of you don't, but the earlier you go back in time, the less of a distinction there was between classical and flamenco guitars. And the very common knowledge was well, let's just say at the root of it all, one of the roots of this is that Cypress back and sides was a local wood that was cheaper. That's what I heard quite often. Apparently there's like quite a large number of other reasons. Some things that have to do with the sound, some things that have to do with like what the flamenco guitarists were preferring. I even heard a story about how the gypsies at the time that were playing the flamenco guitars were actually taking wood from caskets. And they liked one that was cheap or free, and they also liked the spiritual side of that thing. That's just a story. I can't point to sources right now, but certainly Cypress was a readily available wood, and tuning machines were much more expensive than tuning pegs. These tuning pegs are honestly like corks in a wine bottle with like a little bit more, it was just like a little handle for it. These are not expensive to make. I mean, anyone could make these tuning pegs. You don't need a factory, you don't need a line of workers, you don't need quality control testing. It's drilling a hole and putting a plug in it, basically. So that also made the guitars much more reasonable. Now, as far as the sound goes of these, I really think you'd be hard-pressed to tell the difference between a flamenco Santos Hernandez, a Cypress Santos Hernandez, and a rosewood one. Although I think there are some interesting differences that the woods bring. And certainly, if this was being used for flamenco, it would have been set up with a much lower action so that you know, it was easier on the left hand and you got some more of the percussive elements. Flamenco guitars love low action. It's kind of part of the sound to have that buzzing. Now, this guitar, from the previous owner, he told me that he actually had a new saddle built so that the action was raised up to low, but not flamenco low. So, sorry, it's still a little loud. Oh, it's actually really just this. Let me see if I got it close. That's what's annoying about pegs, but once you get it in, the action is still really low, by the way. So many beautiful tones on this thing, and yeah, oh, you know what? How am I going to do this? I'm going to turn sideways. It's got such a great flamenco sound. You know what? Let me show you what I'm doing, but I'm going to turn down the volume. Bye. There we go. That way I'm not blowing out the speakers here. So. It's just got such a great Raschiato sound, you know? So. Pretty cool. Back up to normal volume levels here, and I'll do less of the strumming. It's a little high. Okay. But this guitar, I mean, my gosh, if you want to play classical guitar, if you want to play flamenco guitar on it, what a sweet example. I'm realizing that I was supposed to just give a little preview of this darn guitar and then go to each one in order. But you know what? Now we're going to go backwards. We're going to start with the Santos, and I'll finish talking about this here. I've done that in a couple of other streams. But how about this guitar, y'all? I mean, let me tell you a little bit about it. So, like I said, Santos Hernandez, 1934, famous Madrid maker, carried the torch of Torres, made really loud, powerful guitars that are just so beloved today. Regino Sainz de la Maza played Santos Hernandez guitars. By the way, there's a whole documentary that you should watch, especially if you can understand Spanish. On YouTube, you can see him talk about his whole rack of Santos Hernandez guitars. He picks them up, and you know, of course it's in black and white because it's a very old video, so you can't really see the color of them and everything. But Regino Sainz de la Maza was a huge proponent of Santos Hernandez guitars, as was Yobet, and many other guitarists of the time. And now today, they're some of the most collectible and just super special old Spanish guitars. Okay, but let me tell you about this. The condition, it's brand new. No, I'm kidding. You can probably even see from your screens over there that this thing has seen some days, all right? There are countless cracks. Okay, don't ask me to count them if you're looking to buy this guitar, because you're gonna make me spend my whole day. No, I'm kidding. I am joking a little bit. I mean, there are several down here in the lower belt, and then other than that, there's none on the top. None in this area. There's, of course, a golpeador, because this would be primarily used for flamenco. And there's one little crack that goes right past the golpeador here. And on the back and sides, you have the Cypress, with obviously some repairs here. And then the neck, very thin. Well, actually, not super thin. In first position, it's got some thickness to it, but very, very rounded and comfortable. Give me 1 second. So yes, sorry about that. It has a very low action. And of course, what I was saying earlier is that it has peg heads. Okay, now these are things that if you wanted to have more modern tuning machines, you could completely have these changed to new tuning machines. It would require some work. But what you can do that makes things a lot easier is get what they call, I believe they're called planetary tuning pegs installed, which are extremely easy to tune with, like almost as easy as tuning machines. They don't work in the way of it being like a plug or like a cork. It actually turns like a tuning machine. It's very easy. I've had that on older guitars of mine. Now, the original tuning pegs are here, which is pretty sweet, but it is a pain to tune. But, once you have it in tune, it's fine. I mean, obviously, people still use guitars with tuning pegs. Most of them are the planetary ones nowadays, when, like, a luthier builds a guitar with pegs. But I promise you this. There is no one that hears this guitar from the other side and says, that's a flamenco guitar. There's no one that would hear that. When I'm playing this guitar in a classical way, especially, you will hear it as a classical guitar. I mean, listen, we'll play some Targa maybe. Wow, that bass has a lot of authority on this guitar. Struggling to find that last chord, but how about that? I mean, wow, what a fun guitar to play on. I mean, especially these big open E's, pretty sweet. F, interesting. I think, you know what, I always double check. I've got my little hotkey set to the tuner app in case my ear throws me off, which sometimes I hear different tones. Look guys, I don't have perfect pitch. I'm not talented like some of you guys here. F, okay, it is. And then I don't know from perfect pitch, I know from playing the note and then trying to find it lower on the fingerboard. But yes, this is an F. Yeah, it's got a very deep sound, which is very appealing. These are the strings that were sent on this guitar too. It's a beautiful guitar. And what will really surprise you is if you look up the price of Santos Hernandez guitars, which you're going to have a nightmare finding anyways, because a lot of dealers don't list their prices publicly. Sometimes that's for good reason, by the way. No hate towards that. But you're going to find very expensive prices for Santos Hernandez guitars because they're very coveted. And then those that are in good condition, in fact, I just had one that's in amazing condition, classical model, spruce top with Brazilian rosewood back and sides, tuning machines, the whole 9 yards, really. They're very expensive instruments. For whatever reason, the flamenco guitar models, of his flamenco guitar models, just meaning Cypress and pegheads, are a lot less expensive on the market. So even if this one doesn't work for you, it's in checking your boxes, you can keep an eye out for so they're real hidden gems. Listen to that. The action's still a little bit too low for me. I have to adjust. Wow, how fun. Let's play something else. Maybe, oh gosh, I don't know if I want to go into drop D, but I'll do it. You have to really guess at some point. I'm going to go a little bit flatter, as it always goes sharper. Pretty impressive, I have to say. Wow. Yeah, Drew says this guitar has some magic. It sure does. It's pretty fun to play on too, I have to say. Well, guys, you know I gotta play what some of you guys think from your emails. My favorite piece, Prelude 11 by Targa. How nice. My gosh. Well, let me answer here a question from Vincenzo who says, hey, Evan, do you hear a difference between the Hernandez and the modern Spanish guitars, or is it the same? Well, Vincenzo, I think I understand your question, but the way it's worded does not make any sense. Of course, it's not the same as all modern... So first off, modern Spanish guitars encompasses tons of Spanish guitars. Some are building, of course, like in the style of Torres and Santos Hernandez, and some have a whole different modern take. This sounds nothing like most of the modern Spanish guitars. I mean, many are of course influenced by Antonio Montero or Ramirez or Simplicio. I mean, there's so many different styles, of course, out there. So no, it sounds nothing alike to most Spanish guitars just by sheer numbers. There's so many different takes on the guitar. And then now if I kind of change your question to mean, does it sound the same as modern Santos Hernandez guitar copies? That is also no, it doesn't, just to be honest. I've not played a Santos Hernandez copy that sounds like this guitar. I'm sure there are some really great ones that do a good job of imitating Santos Hernandez. In fact, I have played a couple of good ones. But no, of course, they're copying the guitars because they see Santos Hernandez as a master and they want that sound. That's what they're going for, you know? So no, it's not going to like approach that level entirely, but and it's hard to say why, right? Was it some genius? Was it some wood? Was it the age of the wood? Is it how long this guitar has been played? Who knows? Is there something spiritual? It's so lightweight, by the way. I mean, should we weigh it? All right, guys, here we go. You all win $1,000 if I get the weight wrong within 100 grams. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm gonna get this wrong. Oh my gosh, but this is gonna be fun. Well, okay. Come on, guys. Put your grams guesses, or pounds, we can convert afterwards. Put your grams guesses in the chat, and we'll see who gets closest. You win absolutely nothing, to be clear. I'm gonna go with, oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna say it can't be more than 1,200 grams. It can't be more than 1,200. I'm gonna go with 1,180. 1,180 is what I'm gonna go with. Who's gonna get closest? I'll wait a few minutes because I know there's like a slight delay. We've got 24 people. I want 24 comments guessing the weight of this guitar. Oh good, here they come. Here they come. We got under or over. Oh yeah, when I say there's $1,000 on the line, we get some comments, right? No, of course. Okay, Brian says 1,500. Paul, 1,275. Bart, 1,437. Boo, Bart, I think that's way too high. But of course, you're not here holding the guitar. How would you know, right? Antonio, 1,180. That's what I said, Antonio. We're right on. Let's see. I'm hoping we win. Ian, 1,200. You could be right. Drew, 1,300. Boo. Guys, thumbs down to Drew. I think he's wrong. Dennis, 1,248. That's a little bit bigger. Peace Junkie, 1,387. This is fun. All right, well, I'll get it out. And guys, if I destroy this guitar in the live stream, I'm very sorry. I'm going to hang this by one of the peg heads. This thing's so light. Normally, I would put it between the slots, but... All right. We've got units. There's pounds, ounces, kilograms. Okay, yeah. All right, let's see. We've got your comments here. All right, I went with 1,180, and so did, I don't know if Antonio just guessed exactly what I did by chance or what, but let's see who is closest. 1,235, 1,235. Let's check once more just to be sure. Zeroed it out. Okay, let's try once more. 1,235. Boom. All right. Who got closest? I was off by 50 grams or so. 1,235. All right, you guys figure out who was closest. Maybe Paul M. 1275 was his guess. Oh no, someone guessed 1,200, right? Look at that. Ian guessed 1,200. Good guess. That's got to be, right? Wait, where's Dennis? Oh, 1,248. I'm sorry, Dennis. All right, Dennis. Give me your address. I'm going to mail this to you. No, I'm kidding. Oh, sorry, man. But very good guess, Dennis. That is great. Very lightweight guitar. All right, but I don't lose my $1,000 because I said within 100 grams. I guess 1,180. Okay? Just for the record. Enjoy your new guitar. That's right. Dennis wins a free Santos Hernandez guitar. So thanks for entering the sweepstakes. Sorry, Dennis. All right, if you guess within 200 grams, you can have a 10% discount on this guitar. If you guessed over, if you're more than 200 grams off, you now have to pay 10% more. Okay? All jokes, guys. It's a lot of fun. I love hearing this bass thump. Let's hear a little bit of Capriccio Árabe by Tárrega. I have to admit, this is the best sounding piece I've played so far on this guitar. Like, at least for me, it feels like a match. I agree, Paul. Paul says the more you play it, the better it sounds. Missing some notes. What a beautiful guitar. Well, if you're interested in it, it's not yet on guitarcollection.com. So be sure to write me a message, send me an email, even if you're just curious. I'd love to tell you about it and send you the full album of photos, which I already have of it. So awesome. I think that concludes it for this awesome Santos Hernandez guitars, 1934. And boy, did I spend a lot of time on this guitar. Unfortunately, we're going to have to short the time on some of the other instruments. But wow, thanks so much for watching that, you guys, and entertaining me with your guesses. It's quite fun. Well, okay, I'm about to present this Dake Traphagen guitar. Deus familiae patria. Your collection is growing even larger and more impressive. You're going to need a storefront soon. Hey, well, the cat's out of the bag a little bit, but I will have a storefront soon, or by appointment only. So, yep, that's coming, y'all. That's coming. Okay, well, let me tune this up a little bit more. Wow, okay. So, I have to show you guys this really nice guitar made by Dake Traphagen, the American luthier, that has been building guitars now for a very long time, and this is one of his 35th anniversary series. So, excuse me guys, I'm a little bit congested. Let me have a sip of water. Oh my gosh, okay. Let me start that over. This is a guitar by the American luthier Dake Traphagen, who's been building a number of guitars for a very long time now. He's built several for my shop, but this guitar was built before I even started playing classical guitar, which was 2011, I think. This guitar was made in 2007, and this is his 35th anniversary model, which, as you can see, he went all out on this guitar. The rosette has extra figuring and ornamentation in it here with this inner ring that I haven't seen before. He's also put some of the same things from the rosette on the tie block of the guitar. And then this bridge teases a little bit what's to come when you turn the guitar around. But this is a beautiful piece of Brazilian rosewood on the bridge. Cedar top, traditionally braced, fan braced. Not a double top or lattice brace or anything like that. Yeah, a really nice looking cedar top with, by the way, lots of little marks here and there. Scratches, little nail rasguiado marks, a repaired crack down the center seam of the guitar here. But when you turn the guitar around, you'll see this incredible set of Brazilian rosewood. That is just stunning. You can tell he's really celebrating when making this guitar. It's really beautiful. You can also see like little cracks here that have been repaired, and other than that, it's in really great condition. There's a couple little repaired cracks on the sides. It's been played, it's been loved, and it's been cared for, but there's obvious signs of play. So if you're looking for like a pristine guitar, this one isn't it. But because of that, this also comes with a discount because of the wear to this guitar. But what's not discounted is the sound. This thing, well, I guess I should talk about the neck a little bit. The neck is, I would say D-shaped. It's fairly thin, but a little bit of a D shape. I find it very comfortable. I typically prefer C-shaped necks, but when it's thin like this, they get away with it. Actually, the neck feels very similar to my Miguel Rodriguez guitar, and one that I recently reviewed on the channel. Oh, before we get into the sound, let's talk about the headstock of the guitar. It actually looks similar to a Dake Traphagen guitar I had from 2017, so 10 years later. But this has a matte finish, and it's also a piece of Brazilian rosewood, as you can see there. Standard tuners, I think these are like Goto or maybe Fustero, old tuners. kind of creaky, doesn't match the quality of this guitar. So if you bought this guitar and you really wanted to treat yourself, you could get something like Schellers or Alessi, Barnett, Rogers, something way higher end, and I think you would appreciate it. Let's talk about the sound of this guitar. It's very, very open sounding. It has a surprising amount of volume. In fact, so much so that I had to put the light inside to make sure it wasn't a double top, and I checked also with my mirror to make sure it wasn't lattice braced. It is traditionally braced, fan braced. And also when you play the upper frets, you feel that same openness. Up here. I'll stop there for that piece because I'm sort of barely hanging on to the memory of it right now, but that's Prelude 1 by Villalobos. But wow, I mean, this guitar, this is one of those guitars that just makes you want to keep on playing it. I mean, there's a lot of surprising characteristics about it, and a supercharged second string. I mean, these strings are admittedly old, but it's sounding great. It's so nice how every guitar has its own unique character. I mean, you know, this guitar is not super... You know, the overtones don't, like, control this guitar. They're beautiful overtones, but it doesn't overtake the fundamental, which I like that quality. And by overtones, I mean sympathetic vibrations, sorry. My left hand also feels unusually comfortable. I'm going to suspect because it's a little bit wider of a neck, and with a little bit wider string spacing, it's something that suits me pretty well. But if you're looking for a narrow neck, this isn't the guitar for you. But I believe this is 53 millimeters. So very nice. let's try a little bit of Prelude 11 by Targa. It's beautiful, but I have to play that again because this guitar is going out of tune, especially the low D. There we go. Once more. Wow. What a fun guitar to play. I mean, I love the way the bass register fills up. Beautiful. Very even. Oh, this guitar really surprised me. Wow. Well, what a fun guitar to play on. Beautiful instrument. I mean, you know what? Sometimes we are under this mindset of like luthiers continue to get better and better and their newest guitars must be the best. I think really the first one is mostly true. Luthiers get better and better. But the second one isn't always true because new guitars sound oftentimes very new. And when you get a chance to play a guitar like this that has been played for many years now, this is from 2007. So, you know, you got to keep in mind, this guitar has had, 17 years or something? Come on, Evan, give me some math. Wow, I keep on thinking it's 2024 also. Yes, this guitar has been played for many years, and it sounds like it. It sounds very, very nice. So sometimes you don't know. Maybe this was an extra special guitar that he made, or maybe it's just one that's been played a lot. And has a really wonderful sound to it. The woods have aged. The guitar is very relaxed sounding. I love how the trebles pop out too. Really nice guitar. We have Ivan saying hi from Singapore. Awesome. Hey, nice to see you. And hope to visit Singapore soon. In fact, in the next couple of years, I'll probably be there. So it'll be nice to visit you, Ivan. See some of your wonderful guitars too. Anyways, okay, well, this one just came in. If you're interested in it, please write to me. I don't have it on the website yet, but I do have professional photos and I can detail all of the little things about it. Like I said, there are lots of little cracks and repairs on the sides, one that's repaired down the center seam here. So it's not a super expensive guitar, but it's a very great sounding and easy to play guitar. So, yeah, anyways. What an amazing guitar from Dake Traphagen. Shall we move on to Steve Connor? Now, for those of you that are tuning in a little bit later, I meant to go forward to backward, like start to end here, but I'm going from the end to the beginning. I started with Santos Hernandez, then I went to Dake Traphagen, and now I'm going to be going to Stephen Connor after polishing up my nails just a little bit. And if you're just tuning in and haven't said hi already, please let me know where you're tuning in from and what guitar you're holding. And I'm always curious, are you guys holding a guitar and practicing while listening to this? Are you guys doing work? Are you driving? Okay, now we have stepped into the land of incredible modern guitars, and this is exactly that. This is a Stephan Connor guitar from the year 2019. This one he named Quantum. He names every guitar, and it's a little bit mysterious as to why they have the names they do, but Quantum is a pretty awesome name, if I have to say myself. This one is lattice brace on the inside. Now, Steve Connor's also been building double tops recently, and a fun little story, and I'll admit to not telling the difference, is that I visited Steve Connor maybe about a year or two ago, and actually there is an interview that I took of him that is on my channel now. Steve is building guitars for my shop. But anyways, I visited his shop a year and a half, almost 2 years ago now, I think. And he had just recently finished building a set of guitars for, let's just say, a very famous guitar virtuoso. And one was a double top and one was lattice brace. And I said, Steve, don't tell me which is which. I want to play them and see if I can tell the difference between these two. And I got it wrong, okay? So some people will say something like, you can tell the sound of a double top instantly, and you can always tell and it's a double top, and it's so annoying of a sound. I can't disagree with that more. I mean, or I'm stupid. It's one or the other, okay? You can't just instantly tell if something is a double top. Now, I should take that back. Some guitars have a very distinctly double top or distinctly lattice brace sound that I think I could detect. But a lot of times I think when it's done the best, it's very hard to detect. Enough of that rant. Let's talk about this guitar. This is lattice braced. And as you can see, it's a spruce top with some really beautiful bear claw. I mean, this guitar he really went all out on. You'll see this bear claw spruce top. You'll see this custom rosette he did that looks like waves, right? And as I'm talking, I hear the guitar vibrating, so I'm going to mute it. There's this really beautifully integrated armrest that if I didn't tell you is here, like, hey, when I hold it like this, can you even see the armrest? Probably not, but it's a beautifully integrated armrest, making it so nice and comfortable for your right hand. I know it's not important for a lot of players, but I find it to be very comfortable. It has a very raised fingerboard, so more than what you'll see in most of the German double top guitars, slightly more, maybe a couple centimeters more. And then before I show you the back of this guitar, which this Brazilian rosewood bridge really gives away, I want to show you the bracing of the inside of this guitar. Now, normally I turn down the lights, really set a romantic mood before showing you the inside of the guitar, but I could show you just like this because Steve Connor has his big sound port. Now, the bracing of this guitar, it's tough because normally, like I said, a darker room, this works better. But you can see the lattice bracing and that it's a very widely spaced lattice bracing. It's not very tight honeycomb patterns. It's more just like fan braces going one way and fan braces going the other to make that up. In fact, let me do this. God forbid I damage the guitar. It's going to make nasty sounds because I'm spreading the strings apart. But let me show you like this, very carefully. There we go. Take a look at that. That's what the lattice bracing looks like on this guitar. And, you know, Steve Connor's always experimenting, but this one, I would say, is far less of the typical lattice bracing that you'll see. And it appears to be an all wood, it is an all wood lattice bracing design. Now, that's interesting to me because, well, gosh, I'm a big nerd about this stuff, and I love to know what the inside of the guitar, what's going on under the hood, if you will. So you have to see the back of this guitar, which is this crazy beautiful Brazilian rosewood. And Steve Connor just has the most stunning sets. They look like from, you know, that he flew over to Mars and picked out a piece of wood. I mean, it is just incredible. And then the way it looks on the sides too, how you have that like division between light and dark here. And I mean, you really feel like you're holding a piece of artwork. Then when it comes to the neck, you've got this beautiful flaming in the neck, which I know he reserves for his best guitars because he had a couple. Not best guitars, his most like special high-end guitars, I guess you can say. He had a couple on the wall when I visited his workshop. I was like, whoa, look at those. He's like, oh yeah, that's the premium woods right there. So it is incredible. We've got Scheller tuners, top of the line tuners up here, simple base plates, and a really beautifully ornamented headstock. And then of course, a key feature of I think most all of Steve Connor's guitars since I can remember is this really big magnetic sound port. Now, I have to say that sometimes when you're comparing guitars, having this big of a port and having it open towards you completely distorts your opinion of the sound of the volume of the guitar. So when comparing guitars, I really like to have this shut. But I have to say, open versus closed makes a huge difference on a guitar like this with this big of a port. Even for the listener, they will hear this difference. The player also will, even aside from just having more volume and kind of hearing the guitar so directly. It changes the main air resonance of the guitar. Like right now it's G, between F sharp and G, but with it open, it should be much higher, like a half step higher, G sharp, yeah. So, this completely changes the sound of the guitar, but I have to say the way he integrates the magnets into his sound port cover is so nice because it's not just open or closed. You can do something like this, which is, to be honest, most of the time how I prefer it. Just a little bit open to where it's more the sound of a normal sound port, I would say. You get a little bit of the sound, the idea of the sound, but it doesn't distort it so much. But hey, say you were playing chamber music. You're playing with another musician. You want to hear your guitar better? Guess what? You really can. Take the port off. And sometimes, anyone that's played chamber music has known we're sometimes in that situation as guitarists. Oh my gosh, I can't even hear myself. So you'll certainly be able to hear yourself with that sound port. I've now got it just a little bit open. And you know what? I had a colleague and friend over the other day who's playing this guitar, and he said, you know what? I think this is my favorite Connor I've played. And I was really happy to hear that. I was like, wow, this is... I think it's a very nice sounding Connor. I'm hard pressed to pick between this and some of his modern double top guitars. Some of the new ones I've played are really nice too. But this is a Spruce guitar that doesn't sound overly bright. And it doesn't sound overly lattice, which I'm pretty adverse to these days, to be honest. How about that? So, I would be lying to you if I said that this sounds just like this Santos Hernandez that I played. No, it doesn't sound like an old Spanish guitar. It sounds like a modern masterpiece. It has tons of volume. It's much more predictable everywhere you play. And maybe your fingers have to work a little bit less to get the sound that you're looking for. A really great guitar by Steve Connor. Let's try some more musical examples on this thing. Maybe a chord test. Maybe we'll try Prelude 11 by Traphagen. Really nice sound. Now, I didn't even mention this because I guess sometimes when you're talking about a maker that's so well known that you forget to say some of these things. But Steve Connor's guitars are played by, I don't know, like maybe he's probably one of those makers that has the most number of famous artists playing on his guitars. I mean, I'm not talking about some artists that like sometimes play their guitars or like bought a guitar once, but regular people that play his guitars. You have people like the Assad brothers, Sergio and Odair Assad, famous Brazilian guitar duo, of course, playing his guitars in all their concerts for the longest time. Maybe before him, they were playing Tom Humphrey's guitars. Anyways, there's Anibal Montesinos, there's Antron, the young Vietnamese guitarist, there's people like Marco Tamayo, Elliot Fisk, Adam Holzman, one of my former professors, and also Bruce owned many Steve Connor guitars. But I mean, the sad thing here is I'm going to miss tons of people, tons of great players that play his guitars just by the nature of how many there are. And I think it's for good reason. Steve Connor is a really great collaborator. He's always taking in new ideas from players, whether it's their bizarre idea for a rosette or being inspired by a certain wood choice or design. All of these things he really takes into account. And if you say something about the way the left hand feels, he knows how to interpret that and put it into the guitar. And I think that's why he's such a great collaborator as a luthier and why so many people play his guitars. But this example of his, fantastic, from the year 2019. He went all in on the wood choices. There's this Bear Claw spruce top, Brazilian rosewood back and sides, Scheller tuners. That's not wood. This figuring in the neck. It's really something. Maybe I'll try a little bit of Capriccio Arabe by Daria. I need to tune it once more. Maybe not. I got lost in thought. Wow. Well, it's telling me that I'm logged out. I'm not sure why. Hopefully, oh, I'm like running out of space or something. Hopefully you guys are still here. I think it stopped the recording, but that's okay. I think that I'm still streaming. I am. It shows the preview here. Okay. Well, anyhow, this has been an amazing treat to play this guitar by Steve Connor. I mean, again, not on the website yet, I don't think. Yeah, it's not on the website yet, but if you're interested in it, please let me know. None of these guitars are on the website yet today, which is kind of fun because sometimes I'm presenting a couple of guitars that I've already shown in some capacity. So I think I will end it here, y'all. It's been well over an hour now, and I apologize for my tardiness. Thank you. You guys are letting me know that I'm still here. I appreciate it. But definitely write to me if you're interested in any of these guitars that you saw today. And I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. And I will see you in a new video release tomorrow. So bye-bye for now. Thanks so much.